All right, thanks for waiting. Coach Frost is here, and if you guys are ready for questions, Brian Christofferson, do you want to open up?
Sure. Hey, Scott. Thanks for doing this. Do you know what your plan is at QB going into the week, or is that something that we'll have to develop through the days ahead?
It's going to have to develop, Brian. We had a lot of kids played well, a lot of young kids that are, I think, ready to play, and I think our team understands that we're going to compete and let them compete on the practice field and play the guy that practices the best and gives us the best chance to win. So there's a bunch of positions that'll be that way this week, including quarterback.
How do you think Luke responded going in there in the fourth quarter, and how have you seen Adrian respond since then, going back to practice today?
Those are both great human beings and really good football players. We trust them both. We rely on them both. They'll both handle the situation well, and I hope they come to compete.
Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey Scott, with Adrian in particular, I know it's never just one thing, but 12 of 27 passing the ball. What did you see just from an efficiency standpoint there, and what in your mind needs to get better to be more efficient throwing the ball?
I talked to him about it. I think there just needs to be some decisions that are made a little quicker and more efficiently, and then a few balls that were just errant or out of bounds that needed to be put on the money. But for the most part, I think it's just processing information quickly, getting the ball out on time where it's supposed to go at a better clip, and just eliminating the plays that are killing us on drives, and just a couple plays here and there that'll kill you in a game.
And one quick follow-up to that, if I might, just overall, what do you think of the tempo that you've played with offensively so far, and how much does the quarterback determine the tempo that you can play at offensively?
Yeah, some of the tempo is the quarterback. Some of it is our decision to do that or not. I was impressed and pleased with how our defense has progressed these first two games, and part of the reason we haven't gone light speed around here is we didn't want to leave the defense on the field that long. I'm really impressed and happy with how they're coming along. That'll free us up to potentially get a little more aggressive with tempo and offense.
Omaha World Herald, Evan Bland.
Hey, Scott, when you look back on the offensive penalties from Saturday, particularly along the line, to what do you attribute those, and were you surprised at how damaging each one proved to be for that given drive?
Yeah, I've said this a bunch, but our margin of error isn't big enough right now to overcome those things. That was the emphasis all week in our message to the guys, what we emphasized in practice, and we still had too many. There's been too many drives where we start 1st and 15 because we jump off sides. They were shifting up front. That cost us a couple. Our guys got jumpy and moved when they yelled shift and moved. But that's a focus thing, and that's a discipline thing, and you just, as an entire football program, we got to get that fixed.
Jake Bartecki, KRNU.
Scott, looking ahead to this week with Penn State, how much do you know about how Penn State plays football, and how well do you know James Franklin as a coach and as a person?
I know him really well as a person. My first job was at Kansas State in 2006. He was the offensive coordinator. I was the defensive GA. So he and I are friends. I haven't watched him very much on tape going back just because we haven't played them. Man, they're a really talented football team. You look at their defensive guys and just the length and speed they have everywhere. They've had kind of some unfortunate things happen to them here at the beginning of the year. I know they weren't expecting to be where they are, but it's a really, really good team, really talented team we have coming in here.
So would you say you think they're better than what their record shows to this point?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. You watch the first game and give credit to Indiana, but Penn State pretty much dominated most of that game and just didn't come out on top. Thought they battled with a really good Ohio State team and just had some unfortunate things happen to them in the Maryland game. But I'm sure they're going to be hungry for us.
Sam McEwen, Omaha World Herald.
Hey, Scott, how did you think Luke played in the last 2 drives of that game on Saturday?
Well, Luke came in and did a good job. We had a play on 1st and goal at the 2 that we made a mistake on. He kind of got us in the wrong thing. That's a first game thing. Obviously, the interception is unfortunate. It's got to be a high ball, high and inside. So there's a couple mistakes, but Luke's personality in general, he's a spark plug. He's just got energy that exudes out of him, and I think people rally to that. And that's kind of why we did it. We felt like we needed a spark, and just his nature provides that spark.
How do you get more efficiency in the red zone in terms of scoring touchdowns?
Well, we got to work on it. We worked a lot on it this past week. Again, I give a lot of credit to Northwestern. I think at the end of the year they might end up being statistically the best defense in our league. It wasn't just us. Maryland scored 7 on them, I think, and has been lighting up the scoreboard since. And Iowa didn't score a lot of points and scored a lot the next week. So there's no doubt it was a really good defense, and a lot of the credit goes to them. Man, there was about 6 or 7 plays where just one thing went wrong, one missed assignment, one missed block, and we would have punched those in. But those are things we have to fix as a coaching staff.
Lincoln Journal-Star, Steve Sipple.
Scott, back to the QBs real quick. In your role, how can you help smooth what can be sort of a delicate situation on a football team?
Yeah, I wish I had the magic answer for that. All I can tell you is I'm going to treat that position just like any other, and it'd be a disservice to my football team to play a player at any position if we had a player at that position that we thought gave us a better chance to win. So we just have to evaluate like any other position and play the guy that practices the best and is most ready to help us win a football game.
Did you literally just kind of divide it up 50-50 with the ones, or do you go by feel in a practice? How does that work?
Most through all of fall camp and all our practices, it was 50-50. When you're getting ready for a game, we give more to the number one quarterback than the 2, and we got to determine what we're going to do there.
Thank you.
Husker Online, Sean Callahan.
Hey, Coach, I was curious on Cam Jurgens. Is that a long-term deal, or are you hoping to have him back sometime this season?
No, he'll be day to day.
Day to day. And then when you look at that offensive line, how do you think Matt Farniak did? I mean, he's played right tackle, right guard, and now center. You just don't see that a lot. I mean, how do you think he did in his first game as a center, and how can he improve going forward there?
Yeah, I thought Matt played one of his best games as a Husker. I think Matt was our best offensive lineman in that game. It's a credit to him that he's able to do all those things. He's a team captain for a reason, and I'm sure he'll be ready to play whatever role we ask him this week.
Adam Kruger, KM3.
Coach, how did your freshman wideouts grade out, particularly Xavier Betts and Marcus Fleming, and what does Omar Manning need to do to get more reps on Saturdays?
I thought those guys played well. There's a couple mistakes here and there, but just looking at the film, honestly, there's no doubt with those guys on the field that they help us stretch the field more. We just got to keep bringing those guys along, and for all of them, it's a matter of getting practices under their belt. I mentioned this, but they've all, for different reasons, missed part of our preparation up to this point. Now they're all up and going, so we're going to fast track and see how fast they can pick everything up, and again, evaluate the practice and play the guys that we think give us the best chance. But all those guys are coming along, and we're anxious to have them know the whole system so we can get them out there.
Kevin Suits. Go ahead, Kevin.
Coach, talking to the players, you can get a sense that they have a sense of urgency right now, and their confidence is being tested. What is your message to the team right now?
Well, I think they realize that's the situation they're in. Sooner or later, the scoreboard is going to show it. There's no doubt in my mind how much progress we've made. We just need to turn it into wins. And that game Saturday was as frustrating a one as I've had here because we had opportunities to be in control of that game. We could have won the game, maybe even should have won the game. That wasn't like playing some other games where I felt we were just outmatched talent-wise. We weren't in that game, and the guys are impatient, just like I'm impatient to get this changed. And I keep saying it, but once it turns, it's going to turn in a big way, and we need to have that happen soon.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Scott, defensively, what are you most pleased with that you've seen through 2 games?
Probably starts up front. We played Northwestern, I think, was leading the league in rushing going into our game, and Ohio State's probably one of the best teams in the country, and I didn't think we got pushed around up front in either game. The very least held our own. We're starting to get more speed on the back end and getting linebackers to plays, getting the secondary to plays. Haven't been a lot of busts where we're just giving guys easy things that have happened in the past. Haven't been any loafs where guys aren't giving effort. So we keep doing those things, and our defense is good enough right now to help us win games or keep us in games, and we need the offense to put up points that correlate with the number of first downs and yards we're getting.
KLKN, Andrew Ward.
Hey, Scott, you kind of touched upon this with the players, but you took a lot of the blame on yourself on Saturday. How much pressure are you putting on yourself, to kind of turn this thing around here quickly?
Too much. I'm always going to point my thumb at myself and not the finger at someone else. State of Nebraska means so much to me. This program is everything. This is my life right now, and doing everything I can to get this where everybody wants it as fast as possible. It certainly hasn't gotten there as quick as I want it to, but I haven't for 1 second lost hope and belief in where we're going and what we're doing. And just being around it every day and seeing the progress, seeing the talent that's been infused into this program, seeing us be competitive. Again, it's about turning the page and finding a way to win a game and then getting on a roll and getting some momentum. And I think once that starts to happen, we have all the pieces in the program that we need to win and win at a good clip. But nobody's more impatient than I am, and nobody's putting more pressure on themselves than I am.
Parker Gabriel.
Hey, Scott, do you just like as a general philosophy, where you come down on sort of having a number of touches that you want to get particular players, and what do you need to do to maybe either manufacture or within the offense get more touches for Wan'Dale Robinson?
Yeah, we need Wan'Dale to be a bigger part of the game plan, so we're going to do what we need to. We've had a lot of plays designed for him in first couple weeks, and it hasn't panned out, so we need to do a better job of that. He's playing a spot at slot where pretty much everybody I've had in my offense that I've coached has good numbers to big numbers. And it just hasn't happened the first 2 weeks, but in that spot, that's kind of the focus of our offense, that slot position a lot. And I think it's just a matter of time that the ball finds him in our normal offense, and we'll design whatever else we need to make sure that he's a part of what we're doing.
Back to Sam McEwen. Go ahead.
Hey, Scott, thanks for continuing to do this. Do you feel like your offense is playing with the swagger and the edge that your best offenses over the course of your career played with, and maybe how do you get them to do that if they're not?
Not yet, and there's no reason that this group shouldn't. Part of that is what I'm saying about the whole team. We got to have a little more success. Let that lead to confidence. Let that lead to more success. Let that lead to more confidence. And in both our first games, we moved the ball well enough that if we capitalize, we get some things rolling, and it's easier to move a rock downhill than uphill. And we got to finish drives. And one thing, Sam, we need we need to make some more big plays, some more explosive plays. Too many of our explosive plays have come from quarterback runs, and we need to create some runs with the running backs. We need to create some plays downfield. It's hard to sustain and make 12-play drives go because one thing can go wrong or the defense can make a play. So we got to create some more big plays. We got the guys in the program now that I think are capable of doing that, and we just need some good things to happen to get that momentum and get rolling.
Was it you that kind of made the call late in the game to put Marcus Fleming and Xavier Betts on the field and say, hey, let's roll with those guys and see if they can help us get down the field?
No, that was the plan all along. The issue was, and that kind of hurt our tempo a little bit. I don't think they were probably ready to run every play in our game plan. So then it came down to, running certain plays with certain guys on the field and certain plays with certain other guys on the field. And we're going to be a really good team when all our guys are capable of running the whole thing. Then we don't have to substitute. We can have the best guys on the field all the time, whoever that is. But again, just because of some factors, those guys aren't quite, in our opinion, ready to digest and handle the whole game plan yet. And we're working to get there.
Time for two more for Coach. Sean Callahan, Husker Online.
Hey, Coach, can you just assess your running back situation? Were Ronald Tompkins and Ramir available, and what have you seen from Marvin Scott to kind of put him in that role? And obviously, what do you guys need to get out of Diedrich here going forward?
Yeah, Ronald had missed a few practices, and so he wasn't available in the game really to us. Marvin's done, we talk about competition at the position, and we thought going into that game that Ronald had probably practiced, that Marvin had probably practiced the best, and we rewarded him. And I was impressed with him in his first few carries. He ran the ball hard, did a good job on some plays away from the ball, and that's going to continue to be a competition.
Okay, and looks like last one for Coach Steve Sipple, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Yeah, here's one. Is this a home field advantage? Do you get a home field is this a home field advantage game, Scott?
Yeah, but probably not like normal. Gosh, it'd be nice to have our fans in there and creating a bigger advantage for us. It's always easier to play where you're familiar and not travel and do all those things, but certainly not the same as having Husker faithful in there and a sea of red and giving us enthusiasm and noise. So not a normal home field advantage in my opinion, but just crazy that we're well into November and going to play our first home game. So we're just anxious to be in Memorial Stadium.
Did you feel like your energy was good? Your team's energy was good on the sidelines? You gauge that at all in your position?
I thought it was good, maybe not quite where I want it yet. But again, success kind of breeds enthusiasm, and enthusiasm breeds success. And we're fighting through a lot of things here, but we gotta get over the top and get this thing rolling. And certainly a tough opponent this week, despite their record, to make that happen. But boy, the guys are anxious for it to happen, and so are we.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.